What is going on, Governors? Chisgule here, and today we're back with ARK of Osiris in Kingdom 13. That's right, we're going to be spectating a heck of a match. 800 million power versus 800 million power. That is exciting, and if you like exciting ARK of Osiris battles, you should definitely like and subscribe, because we watch a ton of them here on this channel, and we are a sponsored creator with Rise of Kingdoms. My friends, we're moments away from stepping into the action. Just 40 seconds to go. Let's just get a quick look at the alliance members so you get a sense here. I see one T5 player in this alliance, and then just a ton of really strong contributors in this alliance. Could be more T5 here that I just didn't see, but I'm pretty excited about this Ark of Osiris. What are they going to be up against? Hard to say. Hard to say. We've got a stream going at a 1-minute delay, so we don't spoil too much of the positioning of where people are in the Ark of Osiris. So if folks on the other side of this battle are watching, hopefully we don't give too much away. For those of you joining in, thanks for getting here. And a ton of folks were in the chat early, which is awesome. And here we go, baby. Getting a look into Ark of Osiris. People porting in with our friends in blue. We're now zooming out and scrolling over to where the folks in red are going to be jumping on in. Let's do a T5 count. I see 1, 2, 3 T5 so far. This is going to be tough. 3 T5 so far. 4 T5 on the opposing side. This could turn into a serious slugfest. What this means is that the players in blue have more, I guess they got the same average power, but the distribution of the power is different. All of the players are slightly higher power in blue, but the distribution of power is much greater in red. There's a few that are higher and a bunch that are lower. So for instance, these folks down here, 10 million power, much lower. Pretty sure the lowest we'll see on the blue side is probably in the realm of 20. So this could be an interesting match. Obviously, the number of players who show up is going to matter pretty significantly. Yeah, lowest power here is 16, it looks like. So there you go. There you go. Getting a look at the players that have showed up. We see 1 T5 over here. And all right, 1 T5. Whew. This 1 T5 player's got work to do, baby. This is 1 T5 player's got work to do. Good luck to you. And thanks again for inviting us. We got an invitation from the king of this kingdom at the last minute when I was like, hey, I'm looking for an Ark to cover at this time. By the way, if you want me to cover your Ark of Osiris, check out the link in the description, which will take you to my Discord channel or server. From there, you can put in requests for Ark of Osiris, and we do poll directly from that list of where people make requests. So that's how we go in and we decide which Ark to cover. Now, I want to remind you that as we cover Ark of Osiris, we're going to look a lot at what's happening in the battle, less at the chat for questions, although we will dip into the chat where we can to make sure we do answer some questions. And it looks like we've got a few here. Best way to get a full march of single troop fast? Well, you use your speed ups only on that troop. You could make a lower tier of troop, but the problem with making a lower tier of troop is that you run the risk of having your hospital fill up. If your hospital fills up, you can get into serious trouble and have massive deaths. My general advice is that you want to have as many as possible of the highest tier of troop you can train, rather than lots of a lower tier of troop. So there you go, question answered. Again, we're on a 1-minute delay. It's the delay from when you ask your question and when I get a good look at it. Could be significant, but the good news is that this battle is starting, and now we see where are these folks headed. Let's get a look at the board here. We've got 29 versus 25 players, or 24 players. So even though the other side has more T5, they've got 6 players that didn't show up compared to the 1 from PTX. This could be interesting. This could definitely be interesting. What I want to see at the start of this match is the same thing you always hear me say: spreading out, fanning out across the map, sending Tier 1 troops to those objectives. Tier 1 calves are the speediest. That's what I'd love to see. We see some of that. There we go. One of them And then some more. So those are probably going to the obelisks. From there, not forgetting to pick up the other objectives in the form of outposts, then making their way forward to the front line, posturing for the altars, Shrine of Life, and the Shrine of War. What do you think? How do I think this will go based on the distribution of power? I think this actually does favor the T5 players. If you know my philosophy on killers and fillers, I've got a video all about that. Then you know my feeling is that if you've got a critical mass of killers, then you're in really, really good shape. Even though they've got less players, the power offered by a T5, just putting some commanders into a structure to defend it, is really, really quite profound because of all the stats that they've got. That said, both sides making moves. Are these T1s? Looks like they are. Looks like they're going at about an appropriate pace, making their way over. Some folks headed out to farm, which is a good idea. And look at these speedy guys. Using Cao Cao is a great choice to get the speediness rolling. I like to use my Mina Cao with tier 1, maximum speed, putting on the gas, getting to the obelisk at the start of the match. I'm pretty excited about this particular Ark of Osiris because 800 v 800 is a pretty even matchup. To answer the question in the chat, I do cover Ark of Osiris's at less power. The question was 400 million power. The challenge that I have with covering lower power Ark of Osiris's is that they tend to be more one-sided, and I feel like a closer fight is more engaging and exciting, so I will almost always favor the higher power fight if I can. That said, objectives being captured, and it looks like red is off to the speedier start, with some folks swinging right past some of these objectives without noticing it. And, like, look, it may not be their responsibility, but if you can, it's nice to know that you are the one heading right past something. Oh, hey, what do we have here? Hey, JC Farman, thank you so much for the $25 donation. Really appreciate it. That donation came in, by the way, through the link in the description. That'll show up over here with your name and toward my T5 troop count. Yeah, baby. We're working toward those T5s. All we need is a 15% freaking research rune to drop, and I think we could get there. But, like, we've been waiting like 2 weeks for a 15% rune. It's absurd. Anyways, armies getting into position, structure count now evening up. One outpost missing for each side, although that's about to change for red and likely about to change in a moment for blue. There you have it. Even on the structure count. It's funny. You can have an army that you send out and not realize you happen to be the fastest one and closest one to one of those objectives, even though you're not the one who's supposed to take it. Now, check out this army of full siege units. Now, what is an army like that really good for? I'll tell you, my friends. Defending a structure. Drop them into a structure. Defend it. And it's sure a whole heck of a lot better than having no troops, which is often the case in defending some of these structures. They get left empty. That said, a minute remaining, and I'd love to see both sides posture forward so that they can get into these structures the second they become capturable. And that is exactly what we see going on here for our friends in red. One structure positioned, the other going to be in position. Next up, what do we got? Desert Altar. Ooh, we have some aggression from our friends in blue. PTX going on the offense, looking really good. Going to battle into Dark Lord Vader. Uh-oh, and more coming. And more coming. I like it. Open field skirmish. And let's get a look at First Blood on this side of the field. Looks like these players may not realize they're about to engage in First Blood, having sent their troops over to this caravan. Oh, yes, turning around, starting to fight. There you have it. And, uh-oh. Okay, good. This player sees what's happening. They're turning, and they're doing some battling. First Blood in Ark of Osiris, 800 million power versus 800 million power. This is freaking exciting. And we got a $25 donation today. That was cool. The battle in the open field. Hey, look at that sneaky maneuver. Getting into the structure now. Blue desperately needs to switch it up and get into the structure rather than fight in the open field. No reason to stay there. They've got the structure. What a sneaky ninja. Get in the structure. Now, it could be that they're looking other places or that they've got other stuff going on, but getting in the structure gives them a huge advantage if they can have the numbers, because then they could have 500,000 troops when everybody else has got individual armies, which would be pretty nuts. We see here this player hopefully making their way into the structure quickly. This group in red desperately needs to swarm the structure. They desperately need to swarm the structure right now before more people get in. But nobody's getting in yet. Oh my goodness. Oh, all right. All right. Wow. Good grabs all across the board from blue. Look at that. Also grabbing the Shrine of Life. This player turning around. I hope they see they need to get into this desert altar. And there it is. Nice. Look at that. Health jumping up on the defenders here. Oh, this turns into a real slugfest and more support coming if these guys get into the structure. This is going to be all she wrote for the folks attacking in red. If they don't, it's about to convert over, and then they're going to have the exact same problem in reverse. Here they are, seconds away. Are they going to make it into the structure? Oh, no, it looks like they're attacking this army instead, and the structure converts over. Now, blue is in the position of having to swarm, and if they don't do that quickly, this is going to get out of hand. It's going to have to be a rally. It's going to have to be a rally. A lot of action at the start of this battle, and that is why we like to watch the high power matches. 800 versus 800 million in this Ark of Osiris. Bunch of T5s on one side, and now, that was just so close. But here's the thing. All of that exchange is in the favor of blue. Really great aggression, really great capture, and they've still got the Shrine of Life that should belong to red. Good coordination and very promising start in this Ark of Osiris. Meanwhile, T5's hitting the battlefield, scaring away some of these folks in blue, and you know, if they still owned this structure, it wouldn't matter. You just dip in. Since they don't, let's see if we can find combat elsewhere on the map. Desert Altar, under ownership. Shrine of War, getting reinforced. Sky Altar, scouted, possible action. Looking up top, looking really clean at the Shrine of Life. A lot of folks there probably don't need to be there. And over top, Shrine of War, clean. Sky Altar, clean. What this says to me is that rallies are about to be walking all over this map, going both ways. Slug fest. Now, the advantage of being the side that has multiple T5 players, and that's the folks in red, is that they can launch many T5 rallies all at once, whereas our friends in blue get only one rally to work with at a time that's at a T5 level. You know what, though? Maybe they don't need to be rallying stuff all the time, and that could be just fine. A lot of armies posturing forward by this desert altar. I love taking this particular structure and the Ark of Osiris spawning in 3 minutes and 52 seconds. Look at the coordination in the center here. I'd scare this guy away. I'd scare this guy away. And I'd push these guys out before they have a chance to really accumulate a critical mass of folks. That said, if you're managing many armies all across the map, that can be really, really tough to do. Whew, this is a spicy one. This is a spicy one. Getting a quick look into the chat. A bunch of questions here, a bunch of cheering. Cabo commenting that we haven't had a 15% science rune in weeks indeed. Maybe it'll happen tonight, but we've got huge action by the Desert Altar. Huge open field skirmish. I know the folks in red have got a lot of T5 here. This does not look like a fight that our friends in blue want to take, but because they don't own this Desert Altar, because red was able to just sneak it out from underneath them before they reinforced it, now blue is in a really awkward position on this part of the map, and they might already have a rally coming into this objective, but you know, red is using very smartly their T5 numbers, T5 here, T5 here. I think this is T5 right over there, to push these guys out, and there's not a lot that they can do about that because they've only got one T5 player. He can only be in so many places at once. He or she, that is. Just missed a rally? Oh, man, where's it going? Up top, perhaps? Here we go. Action on the Desert Altar. Looks like a swarm attack going in. Would love to see more blue folks simply get into this structure to punish those attackers because they could do a fierce punish, filling this thing up with up to, I believe, 1.5 million troops, which is a lot of troops, and more red going in to engage in this swarm attack. Hopefully this player already has his troops in the structure. Otherwise, he needs to get in there before they lose it, because if they lose this thing now in the same way that they lost the one down below, it would be such a bummer for them. Getting in the structure is the one and only thing that matters. Will they go in? Or will they battle the open field? It looks like they're still battling the open field. It could be that each one of them already has an army in there. They are a defender from that side of the map. Oh, man. I wish I knew. I can't actually see. This is about to convert over, and that is not... There we go. There we go. One player getting into the structure. Hopefully more do the same. There we go. Another player getting into the structure. The defense of this thing becoming an overwhelming task. The swarm's not going to cut it against that last second set of reinforcements. Whew, that was too close. That was way too close. Now those armies getting cleaned up, sent back home, but holy moly, blow for blow. Blue capturing obelisk down below 2 minutes before it converts. Red capturing obelisk up top. What is going on in this Ark of Osiris? Blue now needs to rapidly turn around and deal with this obelisk. This is a moment where you either need to 1 minute rally, kick everybody out who's not in a 1 minute time frame, or you need to charge with your swarm and beat down whatever the heck is in there, because, my friends, if this converts over, T5 porting forward be just catastrophic for blue at this stage in the battle. That is not something that they can handle right now. Meanwhile, this combat still going on, about to finish up, but this doesn't matter anymore. This no longer matters at all. All that matters is getting back this obelisk as fast as they possibly can. Meanwhile, army going the wrong way, probably going to reinforce the structure, which is a noble goal, but no longer the thing that's really, truly most important. By the way, I just want to remind you, if you had an army in the open field and in this structure, and the structure's about to go down, send out your army that's really, really low in the open field, put your set out your low health army, refill with your high health army. You see what I'm saying. Anyways, those guys cleaned up. This thing is about to convert, which could be really, really savage. And, man, that's some sort of special unit there. Those are some special archer units doing work on that infantry, and archers do work on infantry, my friends. Yeah, remember what I said about getting caught in the open field? Case in point, this player's caught in the open field, and I have a hunch that there's nothing in this structure. Someone just needs to walk into this thing in the next 45 seconds. I bet you it's empty. I would bet you money that this is empty. Oh, somebody. Jump in there. What do they got? What's in there? Holy moly, if we look on the map, the other obelisk was also just captured. This could get out of hand really fast. Scout in from AADH, checking out what's here. What's he got, buddy? Does he have anything? I assume if he had nothing, you'd have just walked in. Someone else scouting. Boom. What's he got? We got to swarm this thing right now, or it's going down. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. All right, there must be more than meets the eye in there. Hey, holy moly. Blue managed to get a hold of the Sky Altar. Looking really saucy. Rally coming in on it. Rally getting melted. Great point gain for blue. And wow, more red folks pushing on this Desert Altar. We don't know what sort of reinforcements it has. We could look, but we're not going to honor the agreement we made at the start of this battle with our friends at PTX, that we wouldn't be peeping on the number of troops they had places. And so hopefully this obelisk is dealt with really quickly, because this could be a problem, and this could be a problem, but rally in on the obelisk. That said, this is what I was afraid of. Tier 5 players doing Tier 5 level work. That is scary. That is scary. Martel at the helm. It's probably T5. It's probably full... It's not full infantry. Whatever, it's a lot of infantry. Is it full infantry? It could be. It honestly could be. I thought it wasn't, but that's actually the army in blue that I'm looking at. Yeah. This obelisk is in trouble, and this obelisk down here is in trouble? Oh no, they're swarming it. Now is not the time to swarm this. This is already converted. A swarm attack is ill-advised to our friends in red, and we can all enjoy the melty happening right now as those armies shrink down, their numbers diminishing, getting sent back to town. Ooh, boy. And while all that's happening, the folks in red saying, yoink, I'm going to try to take that Ark of Osiris. Huge battle in the open field by the Ark. Oh, man, have I mentioned that I like watching high power, even matches. This is freaking sweet. This is everything I want to see in Ark of Osiris. Huge battle going on in the open field right now for this Ark. What should they do? Battle hard, baby. Don't turn around. Don't pick up the ARK. Push these guys out of the area. Then, low health army, optimally cavalry with charge talents, grabs that bad boy, heads back home, and scores it for big, big points. We're talking to the tune of 3,000, which is a pretty sweet deal. It's still 29 versus 24. And our friends in blue have more points because look at the structure game that they're playing here. Look at the structure game. They're saying, okay, you know what? You know what? We don't have our obelisks. We don't care. We have your altar. And guess what gives way more points? Let's get a look here. This is offering, what, 20 points a minute? Whereas the altar is offering 150 points per minute. So, Blues casually taking back their obelisk, going in here for a little bit of a swarm attack with a rally, which, makes sense because each of them has already committed an army to the rally, most likely. So there's really no way to reinforce it otherwise. So hopefully smartly positioning out of the Richard I area of effect damage. How do I know it's Richard I? I mean, look, it's often just a hunch that you pair Charles Martel with Richard, but in this case, we see the AoE fan with no damage, which means it's got to be Richard. T5 action going in on this swarm. Optimally, they'd be attacking from behind the obelisk instead of directly in the range of Richard I's 40% attack reduction, but it is what it is, and they are doing work on that structure. Meanwhile, Desert Altar getting tested by a solo army. Not, in my opinion, a great plan for the folks at the solo army, but keeping up the pressure all throughout the map, and Sky Altar still in ownership by blue, but perhaps not for long. Rally coming in, Minamoto at the helm, Cao Cao in tow. How do I know? That cape says Cao Cao, baby. That cape says Cao Cao. I know that cape. I know you, Cao Cao. Here we go. Big damage going in. Skill attacks. I don't know what's going to happen here. Oh, boy. There it is. Big damage. If they lose this altar, it doesn't matter all that much because along the way, they got a ton of value. And look at this. Big reinforcements trying to march their way down the field. Barca with what? Barca as a secondary supporting Joan of Arc. Those could be T5s? Those are axemen. Those are French axemen. Battling into that army. Reinforcements arriving on time. Possible commander swap going to happen here to make those T5s the captain. That's a consideration, although this looks like too little too late. This structure is in trouble. And red did, in fact, successfully snag this desert altar. I did not see that coming. Blue reclaims its obelisk. Red still in contention and ownership of this obelisk over here with that rally still cooking. Whoo! Cities getting burned in this Ark of Osiris. Total mayhem, blow for blow. And the Ark of Osiris being moved down the field with a low health cavalry army. Low health? Well, low tier anyways. This is some freaking spicy Ark of Osiris. This is why we stream, and this is freaking awesome. Meanwhile, blue still owns this obelisk going, yeah, it's ours. What of it? What are you going to do about it? Asking a question, red has yet to come up with an answer, but they are going to swarm this Shrine of Life. If they can take it back, they get 25% more healing, which seems really, really good in this slugfest because they're behind. Not for long if they capture that Ark of Osiris, which looks like it's going in their favor, and whoo-hoo, whatever's here is just getting totally melted. That's going to convert over. In 3 minutes, they're going to get the buff for healing up troops. That's going to be the time to spam those healing speed-ups, and big points about to come in, turning the tide of this Ark of Osiris, possibly putting in favor. I don't think it's quite going to be enough. 3,000 points is not quite going to do it. But a heck of a match going on in the final Ark of Osiris's for the weekend. Oodalali, is this a matchup? Is this a matchup? All right, what else is going on? Big points. There it is. Down by not even 1,000 points. A 500-point gap in this Ark of Osiris. Where the heck is the action? Possibly up top. Oh yeah, baby. Here it is. Big attacks going in on this player. This seems really ill-advised to me, but maybe their troops are all out of town. They're trying to say, get out of here, buddy. I would do that with a rally attack, quite frankly. Woo! T5s coming in to the party. Is this perhaps going to be an expertise D Sung Ye? Either way, the damage here is going to be catastrophic as red now still, did they take the ownership or the blue rally ended? Either way, let's see if we see the insane AoE. Okay, it's not an expertise D Sung Ye. Oh man, would the expertise skill be just completely insane here? But these are T5s. These are T5s, and they are going to start doing work on the cities. They're going to start to burn them. This is one of the advantages that Blue has, is that all of their cities are average higher power. Each one of them is going to have more troops and be way less susceptible to getting burned. This city, so close to being burned. There we go. Attack continuing. Action going on over here. These T5s deciding, where the heck am I going to go? Ah, his city's over here. Whoa, boy. And is his city over here? King Creed, nice reference. Nice reference to The Office. I like it. I like it. Holy smokes. Meanwhile, action. Far side of the field. What's happening? Okay. Polished off. Down below. Still nobody's figured out what to do with this obelisk. Going back up top. Action here. T5's causing mayhem. This city burning, however, which means pretty soon it's going to get ported back. And hey, wait a minute. Somebody just ported away. Were they blue or were they red? I missed it. I missed it. Cole S. Towing asking if I considered a career as a sports commentator. I have not, but how am I doing? How are we doing here in this Ark of Osiris? Highly contentious battle now. Is that T5s? It is. Lohar leading the charge with T5 troops trying to solo their way into this desert altar, and a massive swarm saying, no, Lohar, you go back to killing barbarians, buddy. That's where you belong. He's going to be sent with a speedy trip back to town while the Sky Altar getting some heat. Defense looks like it might be sufficient against this infantry group. Interesting choice with Julius Caesar as the primary and full infantry in tow. That to me seems strange. However, you see that spine-like glow going around Julius Caesar means that there's a Charles Martel in that group. Would I pair Caesar with Martel? Heck no, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But have they done it? Yes, indeed they have. What would I do instead? I'd pair both of them with a high damage dealer so that those skill attacks go through the roof, because both of them do increase damage. Killer Alon saying hello. Now the leader of the number 2 alliance. Congratulations to you. That army. Now this makes the least sense. Deciding to take the long trip home rather than the fast trip home at 2x speed when your army actually dies off. This obelisk getting more and more firmly in control by red. This could be a really big problem for our friends in blue, making it very, very hard to hold the Sky Altar. Red likely to launch some 1-minute rallies on both the Sky Altar and the Shrine of War and wreak really serious havoc on them. And also, action going on by the forward obelisk. Blue saying, hey, you want to come to our backfield? We'll go to your backfield. That's an interesting play. Very, very aggressive, and I don't hate it. I don't hate it. What could happen from here? Hard to say. This city was attacked, but not actually burning. This city was attacked, but not actually burning. I think we'd see a little bit more fire, and there you go. Flames doused at Pop Flu's city. This player is the Alliance leader and king of the kingdom. Thank you, sir, for inviting me to your Ark of Osiris. Here we go. Action expected at this objective, but in the meantime, rally in on the desert altar, feeling the serious heat from this Minamoto Cao Cao rally. Oddly enough, not full cavalry. Hopefully that Minamoto is rocking the skill tree for the diversity of unit benefit, right? So skill tree doesn't care about what type of unit you bring. That would be what I would want to see, and I'm just going to assume that all 1, 2, 3 of these players that are not reinforcing the structure already have an army in there, and boom, ooh, little bit of BM from 405 saying, sorry, Yikes. Can't say we've seen BM and Ark of Osiris before. And there you go. They've taken the structure, now getting really aggressive, cleaning up the stragglers, saying, we're not done yet. More work to do, and Rally in on the Sky Altar. Rally looking mighty healthy at this point. Folks starting to leave, saying, I'm not staying for this fight. Blow for blow, battle for battle. Things converting, which means this war, this intense Ark of Osiris, is going to come down to capturing the Ark in the center of the map. Ark appears in 2 minutes. What's it look like by the Ark? Red in firm control, like we talked about before. Those T5s going to do serious work if they control this thing. And this is going to be a very important place in the battlefield for our friends in PTX to get to. The altar converted over on the far side of the map, and a little bit of action over here, trying to get some value with infantry and tacking to a bunch of siege units that are looking the other way. I like that play. I like this play. One player saying, hey, wait a minute, can I test this? What's in here? Not looking good, decided to stop. That makes a ton of sense. What action's going on from down below? Still some open field combat, and Dark Lord Vader getting burned. He will be sent back home momentarily. I'd love to see more blue players porting forward, although it looks like blue has 0 teleports left, whereas red has 7, and that was the advantage of getting a hold of the obelisks owned by blue early in the game. BM, Connor Shipman, is bad manners. It's short for bad manners. Emoting sorry when you're winning a rally against an enemy? Come on. You know what that's about. You know what that's about. I know what that's about. And red players getting bullied out, saying, all right, I got other places to be. This isn't working for me anymore. This is not working for me anymore. Red player porting out. Burned. Woo, spicy, spicy. Ark of Osiris, red player porting out. Holy moly, where are they going? I would guess up by the front. That is possibly the case. Army is moving forward, killing farmers, now challenging the outpost. Outpost is a easier structure to swarm because the outpost only has a 500,000 troop cap, which means you really can only get like 2 armies in there, 3 if folks have been beat up. So this is a pretty interesting play here. Swarm going in. Swarm a more appetizing thing against this kind of a structure. Meanwhile, we see the map is looking real quiet, which means rallies must be brewing, my friends, because that's how you get big points. And reinforcements going to the structure. Nice play from Dagua, getting into the structure instead of fighting in the open field. Now these guys are at a huge disadvantage trying to swarm it. I don't care if you've got T5. Attacking into double the numbers is pretty darn tough to handle. And that is exactly what they're going to do. Meanwhile, rally going in on Shrine of Life. This is going to convert real easy because there's nobody from red to reinforce it anymore. They all poured it away. That means that hopefully we see a rally over here pretty soon to take this Desert Altar. Between these 2 structures, I would have prioritized the Desert Altar, but in 3 minutes from now, we're going to see 50% total healing speed for the folks in blue, which means that is the moment where blue cranks any healing they want to do for the rest of the battle. Boom, boom, boom. Get those troops back into the fight. Red successful, surprisingly, in capturing the outpost. The troops over here sent with a quick trip home. They played it correctly, but just didn't have the firepower. More armies getting sent home. Ooh, boy. What's going on over here? Scout in on the Sky Altar. Not a lot of good ways to reinforce that if you're in blue, which means they need to swap here and take this Desert Altar real fast. And if you're in red, you need to reinforce it, but big open field melee and firm control by red at the moment. Bringing this Ark of Osiris down the field, you can get free hits on all the players going that are beelining it, tunnel vision toward the carrier, which is still just correct to do. They're now getting some action in on the carrier. Boom, carrier down. If they're lucky, someone else will pick it up and then you go beat down on that player. Otherwise, you've got to just battle it out in the open field to try to get control of the area. And whoo-wee, is there a lot of action in this Ark of Osiris. Ninja play at work. Outpost of set converting over, hands changing. How did that army even get down there? Who knows? Ring formation by the obelisk in the right-hand side of the map. I have to think they want to rally the Sky Altar, and there it is. Rally in on the Sky Altar, 3 players nearby to either swap out their armies or reinforce it. Epic King coming in to do work, and Mauritius off to the side. They really should start to attack this player or get in the structure. Structure defense looking sturdy AF. Holding it down with Charles Martel scout in, trying to see what's going on with this army. Big damage, however, coming out of Minamoto, and the Ark of Osiris moving down the field, now dropped again. Let me tell you, my friends, this battle right here, right now, is going to be decided by the Ark of Osiris. Who can capture the most Ark of Osirises? That will determine the winner of this fight. This is freaking awesome. Fight raging on, rally for rally, blow for blow. No winner yet in sight. Blue ahead just by a hair. Anyone could win this battle, and the point gain, 480 and 480. It could literally not be more even. This, my friends, is a heck of a fight, and it's still, 29 versus 28. 4 players from red woke up and said, hey, wait a minute. There's that thing I'm supposed to be doing. They joined into the Ark of Osiris, which means red got a little boost, bringing them heavy into the fight, and man, I do not even know how to interpret all the madness that I'm seeing on my screen. I'll say the following. Doesn't AoE look really, really good right now? Doesn't Joan of Arc's buffs look really, really good right now? That is all I have to say about the mayhem that is completely dominating my screen right now. Armies getting sent back home. Armies getting beat down. I mean, it's got to be any moment where the game asks me if I want to put it in the, low res mode, so that low latency mode, so we don't get kicked out unintentionally. Whew. Blue has made a noble effort to completely halt the movement of this structure, but King Creed showing up with T5s, and this is going to get ugly fast. This is going to get really ugly, really fast. Blue doing incredibly well, as Peter Doe points out, given that they've got 1 T5, whereas red has at least 4 by my count. Structure successfully defended the altar to the right-hand side. Meanwhile, obelisk under pressure. Rally attack. And this obelisk is getting melted. Now this would be catastrophic for the folks in blue if this converts over. And I think what we're seeing here is that red is starting to really take advantage of the fact that they can have T5 all over the map at all times. Ark moving down the field by red. This army's just going to get melted, hopefully. This guy doesn't see it? Yes, he does. He's going for it. Moving in to just prevent further movement of this thing. Doesn't matter so much if he dies. T5 player on his tail. He does have charged talents, which means let's see how well he can get away if he decides to get away. And there he goes. Speedy retreat. Let's see how it works out. I'm not saying, oh, no, he turned around to fight. All right, well, I'm not saying charge talents are amazing, but freaking charge talents are amazing. Whew. All right. Can I get a big shout out to Odlin and Cruise8? We're massive fans and watch all your videos. Thanks for being fans, and thanks for watching my videos. If you're enjoying this video, like, subscribe. That means a lot to us as a content creator, and if you did want to donate, link in the description, your name will show up over here, and it'll go toward my T5s. All right, this battle's going totally insane. Huge open field combat, and 3 structures getting hit at a time. We see Desert Altar getting a little bit of action, but not as coordinated. Shrine of Life, possible swarm is going to be successful taking out the Shrine of Life, which would be a big deal. If you've got any healing you need to do in blue, this is your last opportunity to do so. Meanwhile, ARK is now firmly in control of red, and with this conversion, it's going to put red firmly in the driver's seat, asking a very clear question to blue. Can you take this next ARK from us in the open field? And if you can't, we win the game. That is what I think is about to happen in this ARK of OSIRIS. There it is, points on the board, and structure after structure flashing on my screen. We can hardly keep up with it. Solo march hitting the sky altar, bold play, swarm attacks into the desert altar. This seems weird to me. I know that it's a Lohar, but wouldn't a 1-minute rally that everybody joined in on be just better? All these players are ultimately going to need to make their way to the open field and, to the Ark of Osiris. And this Shrine of Life, hey, the defense is working. Nicely done for the defenders here. And this attack, I mean, it just might work. This just might work. Solo attacker, going for the guts, going for the glory. Now, in this matchup, by the way, it's good to be the CPO player, because once your health gets low, you're going to start healing. Uh-oh. Another army in red, though, coming to deal with it. It looks like possibly the same player who's in this altar now, sending out a second march, I would assume. Otherwise, they should just get in the structure to go handle this army. Couple folks in red with speedy trips home. And this Ark of Osiris has been nothing but spice. Nothing but spice. A little bit of a brag in the channel. Aditya saying Chisgule My Kingdom has 2 15% research runes right now. Duh, daggers! We haven't seen one in weeks. Literal weeks. Weeks! Come on. This army, holding on for dear life, may be able to just convert. Wait a minute. Switching targets? No. Switching back. Okay. Finish it off. There it is. This could have been just a huge mistake from the folks in red. Let's find out. No, it was the same player. It was the same player defending it as was attacking it in the open field. Smart play. Smart play, smart play. Now, they are doing serious work on the troops that are here. More folks coming in to support that. I mean, we know which way that's going. And there's a strange combat going on by this outpost of is set. I mean, it's just not that important of an objective to take, especially given that these are T5s. Pardon me. What are these T5s doing here? They don't need to be here. A full 42 minutes into this match, I think we can see the action starting to slow down as players are really feeling the effect of having a lot of injured units and rally going in on the Shrine of War, but this is not going to be successful. Minamoto leading the rally, not my first choice for a rally leader, and by the way, you should check out my video going live later today. Rally disbanded. Oh, that's interesting. They said, okay, this isn't working. Check out my video later today, and also we did a live stream a couple days ago where we ranked every legendary commander. We're going to have a summary of that going live in just a couple hours on my channel. Going to be pretty sweet. You're going to want to check that out. You're going to want to check that out. So, chat, pop quiz. If you're in blue, what should you be doing now? If you're in red, should you be doing now? Drop it into the chat. Let me know what you think. Peter saying, I think blue team should focus on taking and defending objectives and buildings instead of fighting in the open field. That is true. Blue cannot win in the open field. It is not possible for them. They have to play the structure game optimally with their T5s being in as many of the right places as possible. And I feel like rallies on structures like this one are not the best use of energy. Granted, it's only like 3 marches to make that happen. So what the heck? What the heck? As long as your T5 player is doing other stuff, you could have other players zoom in over here and start to rally some of this stuff to get it back. And that is exactly what is happening. Of all the structures, I mean, I don't know, it's not the worst. I'd rather they rally it like they're doing over there than swarm it like they're doing over here. This, to me, feels like suicide. Ooh, awkward. Awkward. Getting a look around, I'm surprised that those are the objectives under contention. Dark Lord Vader saying, "Excuse me, this is my Star Destroyer," porting back by the obelisk, hanging out, and city attacked, but burning extinguished. There we go. Little bit of spice. Player saying, "I see you, Vader. I see you." Testing the power of the light side against the dark side, perhaps. Question in the chat, is it worth going in on Yi Seong-Ye in the Wheel of Fortune? Yeah, baby. If you check out my Legendary Commander Guide, link's not actually in the description for this one, but the video goes up later today. I mean, you're going to see Yi Seong-Ye is one of my favorite commanders, as it turns out. As it turns out. Action up top. Are we still doing this swarm? We are. I don't know why. I don't know why, but we are. Now, if you're in blue, this is a problem. You need to be somewhere else. If you're in red, you could dance all day because you're ahead and you've got all your troops in the open field by where the ARK spawns. So if you're in red, I mean, you're feeling pretty good about this battle. If you're in blue, this is a lot of energy going into something that really doesn't matter all that much. That said, let's get a look at the point distribution. Blue is getting a solid 660 points a minute. The thing is that an extra 100 points a minute or so for 15 minutes is only 1,500 points. It's just not enough points to make up the gap right now. So the thing that has to happen is all of blue has to get to the Temple of Osiris. Where's red? Red is missing. Red is missing. They're handing it to blue. What is going on? If blue prioritizes correctly right now and sends every bit of energy they have to this ARK, they convert the ARK, they win the game. They win the game if they get that ARK. They win the game if they get that ARK. Literally, there is one thing that everyone must do right now. The structures are irrelevant. Forget the structures exist. Every single player must get to the center right now. This is it. This is it. I want to scream into the chat, if you get to the center and take this ARK, you win. But I don't want to interfere. But they did invite me to their ARK. Should I interfere? I mean, they invited me. That's like a perk, right? That's a perk. Am I an observer? What's my role here? What's my role? If they get to this ARK, they win. They win. They must know that, right? Red is getting firmer control of the middle now. Oh, man. ARK spawns in 10 seconds. I don't know. I mean, I'm inclined to say something. 2 ARK, we win. There it is. There it is. In the chat, they figured it out. I didn't have to intervene. Whew. Okay, here we go. Blue making their way over. Red making their way. King Creed, T5s, 80 million power player. This is the slugfest that decides it all. One ARK decides the whole match. And Sneaky Ninja Lancelot getting beat down. Quick moves, quick hands, but equally quick response from blue. Taking that out. And now, Army, King Drew, big mistake, picking up the ARK. Free kills on a 200,000 army, everybody. Especially if Savvy turns around and he sees it. And he does. Savvy makes the turn, bringing in his T5, and big hits. Gonna drop this player in a heartbeat. 1, 2, 3. Oh, he's hitting the wrong one. He's hitting the wrong one. Oh, no. It's sometimes hard to target stuff in Ark of Osiris. And these guys are making a speedy-ish getaway. But no. No. Iwo, who made the call to come to the center, sees it, drops the carrier. It all comes down to this. 12 minutes. 12 minutes They have 12 minutes to own the center of the field and to bring the Ark of Osiris back home. They have to bring it back home. Can they do it? There's only one thing that matters, and this is it. And oh no. Savvy looking like he's going to pick up the Ark, but that just means he's going to get melted. Well, I guess it looks like it's a cavalry army. It's a Scipio. Well, rip army. Don't know that accomplished much. I mean, I guess he had a weak army anyway, so it's not a whole lot he could have done. Moving slightly down the field, more battling in the open. Red looking like they have control over the center. Getting outnumbered here. Blue just might be out of gas at this point. More armies coming in. I just don't know that I see enough armies to make the difference. If they get to the Ark, they win. They don't need this structure. Red can have it. Red can have everything on the map. Nobody cares. All that matters. Oh, yeah, and that rally going in. Honestly, Red should just disband the rally and get to the Ark. That rally is a mistake right now. Red is controlling the center. The score is enough. The score is even enough that if Blue could get the darn thing, they would win. But man, it just doesn't look like it's going to happen here. There's just not enough gas left in the tank to make this work. Red team swarming around their carrier, starting to move it down the field. Look at all those blue armies that are making their way over. And Alliance leader, King of the Kingdom, coming in saying, this is not over yet. This is not over yet. And I'm taking out this carrier. 1, 2, down for the count. Turning around now to try to get away from all that madness. I don't know that he'll be able to. He's instead turning and fighting. I mean, yeah, he's kind of stuck in the mix now. And honestly, if they're giving free kills by continually picking up the darn thing, that's good for the folks in blue. T5 army arriving, but there's not a lot that small number of troops can do. They're just outnumbered at this point. More reinforcements coming. In fact, possibly a critical mass of troops. Big armies on their way. If only Blue can hold out long enough and turn the tide of this fight, they have enough time to march this thing back and bring it over. But Red is falling on the sword. One army has picked it up and they're moving it down the field. They're saying, you know what? We're going to ask a question. Can you get an army to kill the carrier fast enough? And there's only one army here. I think they might see the carrier, but they just might not be fast enough to pull this off. They might not be fast enough and not have enough damage to pull this off. They're going for it, trying to hit the carrier, but it's not enough. Carrier still moving down the field. Massacrator on his way over. I think he might be able to make it, but all these marches in red. Boom. Now turning. This is a almost 300,000 march. Wow. A lot of cavalry in there, making a beeline for the only thing that matters, the finish line. So close for Red to put the nail in the coffin to this match. And are they going to make it? Carrier hit once and down. The carrier's down. That means all these blue armies have an opportunity to get to the Ark. They shouldn't be battling here, though. There's nothing to do here. Every single one of them has to ignore everything downfield and get to this Ark, because now Ark is going to get picked up again. Very few people are there, but Sky Online, clutch a tier if he can get this Ark down. Ark is moving. Yet again, he's got to turn. They can't take out the outpost. He's got to go for the carrier. There's not a lot of time left to do it. It's so freaking close. He has to turn. He hasn't noticed yet that the carrier is right here. Here's the problem. If Red has reinforced this structure, there may not be room for this army to cap it in the structure. That would be interesting. I can't tell what's happening right now. He's going for the structure. This is not a good play. All he needs to do is turn and hit the carrier. He doesn't see it. He's not looking there. But he is taking out the structure. What? What? No way! Blue converts the structure. They can't cap. They can't cap. Red has got to swarm it right now. I'm sure they will. I cannot believe what I'm seeing. Blue has to get here. Oh my gosh, it's so close. This structure getting swarmed. Here we go. Min can't. He's got to get into the structure. There's not going to be enough time for that. Boudica going down. And now, will this guy turn? Will he notice that there's room in the structure now? There might not be room in the structure. There might not be room. He might be blocked out. Someone's got to leave, and he's got to figure out that that's happening. They're bringing the ARK down the field. The longer that this happens, the further and further we get from Blue being able to find a structure close enough to bring it back to. I suppose Blue could take this structure and cap it in that structure, but that'd be a hard feat to pull off. This player put on the brakes. He doesn't know where to go. Blue, upfield, getting eaten alive. They're just not going to be able to make it to the ARK in time. What a bummer for them. What a close match. What a close match. ARK of Osiris holding steady in its current location. Wow. Wow. Whew. I mean, this has to be one of the most interesting and exciting ARK of Osirises that we have ever watched. Hands down. Hands down. Perhaps they're taunting them now, just keeping this here instead of capping it. Perhaps they're just taunting them, saying, come at me, comma, bro. Come at me, bro. Wow. Incredibly well fought by everyone. Wow. I mean, this was a heck of a fight. T5 player marching down the field here. They know what they want to hit. Oh, and there it is. Going to the structure. And haven't capped it. They still haven't capped it. At this point, the score has changed so precipitously, I'm not even sure this last ARK will be enough anymore. So many structures have swapped hands that I'm not even sure this structure or this ARK is enough. And, you know, honestly, I'm eager to see how many healing speed-ups were used here by each side. Oh, man. All right, my friends. 4 minutes left. We're going to stick around to see the amount of healing speed-up used and all the goodies used. This was one of the best ARK of Osirises we've watched. This was insanely fun. Huge thank you to PTX for inviting us to the ARK of Osiris. They're clearly very organized. Seem like a pretty awesome crew. More BM. More BM from 405. All right. All right. I mean, you're winning. Do you need to BM? Probably not. But that's what emojis are for, I suppose. The angry emoji going out. Somehow, Blue Army, with almost over 300,000, makes it down the field, and they're going to hit the structure, right? Why not? They're going to hit this structure. I don't think they're going to take it. They could just kill the carrier. Kant is bringing in this teeny little army. He's going to hit the carrier. I don't know that it's enough. I don't know that it's enough. It's a slaughterfest here. I guess they could have rallied this structure, right? Oh, now what about that as a strategy? Oh, y'all, this is a smart strategy. What if, when they saw that this thing was moving down here, they did a 1-minute rally on the structure? That would send a bunch of troops down there in a big old bundle, and the bundle would be hard to beat, right? There it is. ARK captured. Whew. I think that Red was positioned to win this game simply by virtue of the volume of T5 that they have. It's just tough to handle. It's tough to handle. I think Blue fought very well. I think Red fought very well. This was a pretty awesome ARK of Osiris match. Let's get a look in 2 minutes at exactly what the stats were all the detailed stats for this bad boy. Hey, wait a minute. Huh. Would you look at that? All damage in the Ark of Osiris is increased by 100%. Did you know that? Did you know that? I didn't know that. Did you know that? Hmm. Very interesting. Very interesting. I feel like that 1-minute rally tactic would have been sweet. 1-minute rally on this structure to either convey your troops there in a big safe bundle or simply to convert it over to you so that they can't cap the darn thing. I mean, like, look, nobody's thinking 1-minute rally, right? When, like, it's like, oh, we got to be here now or we lose, right? Like, nobody's thinking about that. It's just mayhem. Looks like they're going to swap over this obelisk at the very tail end, which seems fine. Holy moly. Well, my friends, if you're looking for an alliance that takes the Ark of Osiris seriously, you should definitely check the link in the description. Join my Discord server. There's an application in the announcements channel of my Discord server for people who want to come to Kingdom 51. Kingdom 51 is going to be a pretty sweet place to be. Very competitive kingdom. And we've got an unbelievable amount of interest. We've got an unbelievable amount of interest. Pretty excited about that. We're going to have to send a message later this week about, like, for folks who are interested in joining us, what the protocol is going to be. Because we're not going to have room for everybody in the main Legion Alliance. We're going to have to send a lot of folks into our family of alliances, and it's going to be a pretty big family. All right. Obelisk captured, city burning, and match ends. Here we go. What does this scoreboard look like? Wow. Pretty even number of healing. But look at the severely wounded units. I mean, what you're seeing here is the power of those T5s. There's a provision score that's pretty different across the two. Both, I think, could have been improved. In fact, this wouldn't have been enough to win the match, but I think 10,000 is a pretty achievable provision score. So, I mean, there's 5,000 points sitting on the table in provisions here, which is pretty significant. Those total kills from the folks in red is just insane. Look at that kill count. I mean, we see what happened here. It's the T5s that did work. Incredibly well fought. I mean, I'm going to say, like, really well played. Hard to handle the volume of T5s they had. Whatever. Autocorrect. Save me. I guess autocorrect can't save me from that kind of error. I typed the wrong thing. All right. That was pretty amazing. I'm feeling pretty good about this battle. Thank you again to our friends in PTX. We really appreciate being invited at the relative last minute to come and cast your Ark of Osiris. Y'all did really well. The king has been pretty chill. He lives in my Discord server as well, where we have a Council of Kings. That's how we connected. I'm going to hit... Oh, I can't hit help? I'll hit help. I'll donate resources before I go. Oh, now I'm out of gold. And now I'm going to stop revealing their tech, I guess. Oops. I don't know if it was that much of a secret. Anyways, my friends, we're going to head out. Thank you again. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Check out later tonight. We're going to have a video ranking every legendary commander. And until next time, my friends, you have fun smashing the kingdom.